What if I told you you can make $150K a year with no experience and won't ever be replaced by AI?
Hi, my name's Amanda. I'm a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. As a new grad, you can expect to make $145,000. There's definitely a growth for this position. We are seeing more anxiety, more depression. A lot of rural areas still don't have enough prescribers.
But why is this a career you should consider? Across the world, we're experiencing a mental health crisis, and there aren't enough specialists to treat it. That shortage has created one of the best paying, stable careers in healthcare. Today, we'll walk through the exact playbook to become a psychiatric NP.
Here's my career playbook.
So Amanda, I know a lot of people out there might be familiar with therapy, but what is a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, and how does that differ?
Psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner helps patients who are dealing with mental health conditions like anxiety, depression, chronic worrying, or worrying where they can't function in their daily life. And we help them overcome those struggles and find a solution to help them function better, feel better, whether that be through lifestyle changes like diet, nutrition, looking at their sleep, adding on medication if need be to help them overcome those struggles.
Gotcha. And could you tell us a little bit more about your day-to-day?
The difference between a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner and a therapist is with therapy, you're working with more of the talk therapy, working on the story. When someone needs a little bit more help than talking, we add on medications, another tool that can be added for someone. The typical day in the life of a nurse practitioner for me is I work in an outpatient clinic. So I have my own patient panel. I have my set schedule. I'll see patients come in and we'll discuss how they're feeling, any updates to their mental health, how their medication's working, and we make adjustments from there. So that's with an outpatient role. Inpatient role, you can be doing rounds, you can be seeing patients in the hospital setting, adjusting medications from there. A lot of times they're coming into the hospital for a crisis setting, and in outpatient, I'm managing their care kind of more on that prevention side and closer follow-ups and relationship building with them. What I really like about this role is that it's very flexible. So you can work inpatient, which is a hospital setting. You can work outpatient, which is more of your clinic. You can open up your own practice. You can work in jails even. You can help people with sobriety in rehab facilities. There's quite a wide range of opportunities. You can work from home. You can travel. So it's definitely one of the careers that has a lot of flexibility within the healthcare system.
We know everyone's always curious about salary, so could you share with us a little bit about salary ranges for this role?
For a new grad right now, I would see the range is usually starting at about $145,000. And that's no grad, no experience. Of course, it varies across the country, different parts. If you're in California, where the pay can even be higher than that, the more experience you get. If you specialize down even further into, say, child and adolescent, you may make some more there. And private practice, just depends on how busy you want to be, how many patients you want to see, can go up from there.
Of course, high salary is one major pro for this job, but I'm curious, in your eyes, what is the most rewarding part about this job?
The coolest part is definitely seeing the progress that people make. Sometimes you're dealing with people who are at the absolute hardest times of their life. They're dealing with severe struggles, rock bottom, if you will. People don't usually get mental health treatment if they're doing well. When you see them, especially in a moment of crisis, and helping them get out of that and get motivated again and get their life back on track, I think that's really, really rewarding in this field. One that you can see that progression over time, building that relationship and seeing them, especially if you work on the recovery side, seeing people sober off different drugs or alcohol and seeing them recreate their lives, it's really, really rewarding.
What about the flip side? Are there any worst parts about your job?
I think that some of the most challenging parts about being a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner is that some people don't get better, right? You can try your best, you can give them all the resources, you can adjust medications, and everybody's story is different. There's a lot of factors that may go into that. It can be difficult because you go into this wanting to help as many people as you can, and sometimes, unfortunately, the reality is it's not the case all the time.
In general, how would you rate your work-life balance?
Work-life balance is pretty good. Flexible job, depending on the setting again. So if you want to work inpatient, a lot of times you can go in, do your rounds, check in with your patients, and then you're done for the day. Usually, typically a Monday through Friday setting. Some places they do 10-hour shifts, but you'll have your typical holidays off, weekends off. So it just depends on which role, which setting you want to be in, but you can definitely build a life that you want based on your needs and what you want to do. You can travel with this position. Like I said, you could work from home. So ton of flexibility.
Let's say a student said, I want to become a psychiatric mental health NP. What are the exact steps that they should take?
For a high school student who is interested in this field, I would say to go into whatever university or college website that they're interested in and look at their nursing school requirements, because that's going to be the first foot in the door. You have to get your nursing license before becoming a nurse practitioner. So look at the requirements and kind of get a head start and see what you're going to need to, what classes you'll need to take. Typically it's like your general studies, your English, your maths. Each program is going to have a whole outline for you. So they lay it out pretty good. At every university, there's usually like an entrance exam that you have to take. And again, they go over all the requirements and study materials. And then from there, you get into nursing school, do the nursing program. And then after you pass boards for nursing, then you can go into the nurse practitioner role.
On that note, could you talk a little bit more about the cost of schooling?
So the cost of the school is going to depend on which route you take. I did it is I went to community college, usually the cheaper route to get your nursing. And once you get your associate degree, you can actually work as a nurse while going to get your bachelor degree, then on to your master's degree. Nursing school varies too if you go to private school versus a community college, like I said. Back when I went, I think it was like $10,000 for nursing school. I know some people have paid upwards of 40, 50. So it just depends. But for the nurse practitioner program after my bachelor degree, it was about 30,000. So it ranges again, depending on the college. There's a big range. But the nice part is that you can work as an RN while you're going to school. Switching
gears a little bit, I'm curious about your thoughts on AI and how it's going to impact this industry.
AI coming into the field, I know a lot of people are worried across many different careers, but I think ultimately AI can't replace that human interaction, especially when it comes to mental health. The listening ear and just being human with someone and relating to their experiences and building community with a person. Potentially AI can help. I know there's even programs now with charting, record your charting and help you in systems like that. So that's a positive because you save time with charting. But as far as totally replacing it, I don't see that because I think a lot of people still crave that personal interaction with people.
So if you're saying that you think this area is relatively safe from AI, what's your long-term outlook on this industry?
There's definitely a growth for this position. A lot of rural areas still don't have enough prescribers. We have mental health stressors that go on in the country and things like that definitely play a role in people's mental health from day to day. Social media, we're seeing a lot age of this population, high school, I'm sure they can relate to pressures of social media and things like that. So we are seeing more anxiety, more depression. So there's definitely a need still there, especially in the rural areas, more mental health providers.
Amanda, thank you for making the time today and giving us such thorough answers about psychiatric NPs. If people want to find you and connect with you, where can they find you?
They can find me at Modern Mind, and I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm also on YouTube, and my content is really tailored to educational content, new grad NPs, and sharing more tips on the day-to-day life of a nurse practitioner too, so you can definitely see more of that.